Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Kruleboyz in Age of Sigmar Warcry, using the Cunning Crew Warband from Warhammer Underworlds as a starting point to build up a full functional 1000 point warband from. The Cunning Crew are a Kruleboyz warband, a ragtag collection of Oryx, Grots and Hobgrots of the Beast Breakers tribe, led by Manok de Cunning. They're a snatcher crew constantly on the lookout for potential hostages to enslave. This warband was hunting a bogworm in the lakes of the Misted Isles when they witnessed the creature disappear into a drain. Ignoring Talker's protests, Manok de Cunning ordered the craft to investigate and were sucked to the same place, ending up in Harrowdeep. Manok realised these moist caverns could become a great Kruleboy lair and decided to settle in. Now the warband is trying to find a way out so they can find a way to bring the rest of the boys here while harassing the other warbands that dwell within the place. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modiphius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so, leading our initial boxer is Manok de Cunning, the leader of the Cunning Crew. He's a leader rune-marked fighter, so he's going to get access to all the basic leader abilities and, most importantly, Inspiring Presence. Now, his stat-wise is pretty nice. 4 attacks at strength 4, 2-5 on the damage is solid, but importantly on those weapons, he has that 2-inch range that we love on this channel, enabling you to sit outside of the inch range of most other enemy fighters. 28 health and defense 4 is also fairly survivable, especially for his points cost. I think you're getting a pretty good bargain. Now, other than that, we've got a bunch of abilities, and he does have a couple of special abilities unique to him. First of all, we have Master of Merc. This is a double ability, where a fighter can only use this ability if they're within 1 inch of an obstacle, and until the end of the battle round, as long as they remain within 1 inch of that obstacle, they can't be picked as targets of enemy actions or attacks while they're more than 8 inch away from them. We've then got Venom Encrusted Weapons. This is sort of the generic Kruleboy ability that most of our fighters will have, where until the end of this fighter's activation, we add 1 to the damage points from each hit and critical hit. Pretty solid double all round. We then have some other abilities that he's going to have access to as well. Most importantly, Cunning Attack. This is the quad, and this can be used by all your Kruleboy leaders. A fighter can use this ability only if there are more friendly fighters with a warrior rune mark within 6 inches than there are enemy fighters within 6 inches of this fighter, and then they all get to make bonus melee attack actions or move, and you can mix and match how you want to. All in all, he's a fairly solid fighter. For his points cost, I think he's well worth what he's going to bring to the table. He's got some interesting little abilities to muck around and sort of hide against your opponent, enabling him to sort of set up when the activation and when the engagement with the enemy is going to take place. Next, we have Talker Tuffskull, and this is the first of the fighters in the warband. He's a pretty solid fighter at that 2-inch range there. Once again, 3 attacks at strength 4, 2-4 on the damage, solid. And then you've also got 20 wounds and a defensive 4. This is, a pseudo character, I would say, for him. He's probably on par with most of the generic Warcry Warband leaders, which is really nice. Now, ability-wise, he obviously has all the generic Kruleboy abilities that we've already talked about, Venom Encrusted Weapons, but he also has Sneaky Snares. This is another one of the Cunning Crew's special abilities that he's going to have access to. You can pick a visible enemy fighter within 2 inches of this fighter and roll a dice. On a 2+, they can't make move or disengage actions. This is a pretty powerful ability. Stopping disengages isn't that uncommon within Warcry, but stopping moving altogether is massive. When you think you can combine this with the fact that you could have someone like your leader there, with Manok potentially hiding 8 inch away and then him stopping someone moving, enabling Manok to get in, could be a really powerful thing to sort of set up. Next is Crookgrin. This is the leader of our sort of Grots that are in the warband. Crookgrin is got 3 attacks at strength 3, 2-4 on the damage. In all honesty, not too shabby, especially for his points cost. 8 health, 3 defense, it is what you expect for a Grot. Probably on the low side for his points cost there, wound-wise and defense-wise, I would say. But he does have a short-range attack as well, and by short I do mean 5 inch, 3 to 5 inch, so can't be used in combat is a little bit of a negative, but it is strength 4 with 2-4 on the damage and 2 shots, so slightly better than most of the sort of throwing weapons we expect to see with this damage. Now, Crookgrin does have some of his own abilities as well. Gang Up allows him, while he's near some other grots, to get some extra activations from your other grots nearby. But he's also got the Stab and Good, where until the end of the battle round you add one to the attached characteristic of attack actions that have the Dagger rune mark by friendly fighters with the Minion rune mark as well. So this allows all their combat attacks to get some extra attacks in there, sort of just boosting the power of these little grots. Next is Shank, and Shank is another one of the grots, 6 health, defense 4 though, because he is wearing armor, and 3 attacks, strength 2, 1-3 on the damage, nothing too fancy to write home about there. But the other big thing that he's going to get is he does have the same ability, Sneaky Snares, as we have on the other one of our Oryx that we talked about, Talker, already. This just allows you to have an extra fighter to potentially put out Sneaky Snares ability. It is only a double to use it, so, you know, a couple of doubles and both these fighters on the table, you're easily able to stop multiple if your opponent's moving during a turn. And lastly, we have Geekit. Now, Geekit is a defense 4 6 wound model, but what's really interesting about this grot over some of the others is he actually has access to venom encrusted weapons. This is normally something that none of the grots inside the Kruleboyz get access to. Geekit is special in that remark, but other than that, he doesn't really have anything else. He is very minimal on his attacks, but for 50 points, considering you can get that attack there for 3 attacks at strength 2, 2-4 on the damage potentially, he could be fairly solid. If he gets a couple of good spikes off with his venom encrusted weapons, he is more than going to make up for his points cost. And so where to go next? And the first thing we're going to look at is the Swamp Caller Shaman. The Swamp Caller Shaman is a 25 health 4 defense Kruleboy that has a short range ranged attack, the sort of magic profile we expect to see on any sort of wizard, that 2 attacks with 3 to 7 inch range, strength 3, 3-6 on the damage. He's also got a few attacks in combat, and that 2 inch range is nice for a model that really doesn't want to get bogged down too much in combat. We do have its own unique special ability, and this is called Summon Boggy Mist, where until the end of the battle round you subtract 1 from the attacks of attack actions made by enemy fighters while they're within 6. This is really cool because once again it can play with those 2 inch range sort of activations and attacks, forcing your opponent to have to move and attack you, but also being able to put Summon Boggy Mist on there while you're doing it will further protect this model and indeed his friends around him, as they're having to move, attack, and will have the less attacks if you've gotten Boggy Mist off as well. Now, joining the Swamp Caller Shaman, it actually will come with the Swamp Caller Shaman, wherever you get it for the Kruleboyz, is the Pot Grot. This is just another one of the grots we have access to within the Warband, and the Pot Grot is just 6 health, defense 3. There is nothing too great about his stat line, even his attacks at all. But the big thing that the Pot Grot is going to bring you is its own special triple ability called Brood Elixir, where you can pick a friendly fighter within 1 inch and roll a number of dice equal to the value of the ability, and for each 4 up they heal 3 damage points. There's a pretty good healing ability in all up. Yes, it's not going to be a guaranteed number like your respite would be, but the thing about this is it can be used in combat. It can potentially heal quite a bit. You know, if you got lucky, you rolled 6 dice and all of them turned up 4s, you would have 18 health getting healed on the fighter. Yes, that's unlikely, I know, but even, you know, potentially getting a 6 and healing 9 points on some of these tougher fighters is definitely worth it. After that, we then have the Murknob with Belcher Banner. Now, the Murknob is another tough hero, 25 health, defense 4, and it's not too shabby in combat. 3 attacks at strength 4, 2-4 on the damage, perfectly fine for the points cost you're paying for it. Now, the big thing here is we have the Breath of the Mire Drake, which is its own special ability for a triple. Yes, this is sort of stocking up on a lot of triples throughout the Warband, but I really like these abilities. Any ability that can do damage outside of your regular activations and attacks, for me, is great. And this one all affects all enemies nearby it. So you roll that for each visible enemy within 3 inch. On a 3 to 4, you allocate a damage point. On a 5+, you allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of the ability. So a large value from 4 to 6 can really get a good amount of damage. And what's cool is this fighter with 25 health, defense 4, it's not worrying too much about getting stuck into the thick of it. And lastly, where would we be with Kruleboyz without taking a Man-Skewer Boltboy? It's going to bring a little bit of extra range at a decent range as well, with that 6 to 15 inch range into our Warband. 15 health, defense 4 isn't too shabby for what we're getting, and 1-4 on its damage and strength 4 with 2 attacks at range is nice. Now what's cool is this model is going to get access to a wide variety of different abilities. Venom encrusted weapons are going to work on its range attacks, which is really nice, so upping the damage of that bolt to 2-5 is massive. We've also got Aim Shot, where a fighter can only use this ability if they have not made a move action, but critical hits and then score on a 4+. And so our Warband has 3 heroes in it. We have Manok T'Kunnon, the Swamp Cooler Shaman, and the Merc Nob with Belcher Banner. We move into fighters. We then have Torka Tuffskull, who's got the Divine Blessing of Ferocity for an extra attack, a Man-Skewer Boltboy, and Crookgrin, while finally rounding out the Warband with 3 more Grots in Shank, Gicket, and the Pod Grot. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment them down below and we'll endeavour to get back to you. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server as well, linked in the video's description, for all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry content.